Welcome into Bills Tonight Digital, presented by ECMC. Maddy Glab here with Fred Jackson. The Bills beat the Redskins 24-9. They are now 6-2. That is their best start through 8 games since 1993. So, Fred, how did the Bills get it done tonight?
A little bit of Devin Singletary, always helps. So to be able to get him involved the way that they did, definitely takes a lot of pressure off of Josh, and it allowed their offense to flow relatively smoothly. So they did a great job getting him involved, and defense did what they always do. They showed up and made a lot of plays for him today.
Yeah, how did you see this defense change from the first half to the second half?
Yeah, when you see Adrian Peterson coming out in the first half, he rushes for 100 yards, you feel like it's going to be a long day for your defense, but their gap integrity, making sure they made the play when they all got there, gang tackling was something that they definitely improved in the second half. Yeah,
run defense was definitely a question for this team going into this game, but they were able to fix those problems in the second half of this game. Devin Singletary, he had a great day, 95 yards on the ground, 45 yards receiving yards. Coach McDermott is at the podium. Let's hear what he had to say after today's win.
All right, I'll just get it started here real quick. Good win, good to win at home. Fans showed up, did a great job for us down the stretch. In particular, I thought a couple big plays helped us. The field position at the end obviously helped us as well. But I thought overall a balanced win. Offense, defense, and special teams all contributed. Good to get Andre going. Came out early with the offense and put a good drive together there. And then again after halftime, came up short a couple times on some and 1 to go or inches to go situations. So it's certainly an area we've got to improve on there. But overall, good win, and really appreciate the crowd today. So with that, we'll open up to your questions.
Why do you think there was so much of a struggle on 3rd and 1? Well, any end ones, like you said, like you were stopped 4 or 5 times total in the game. Is that just not winning up front, Sean, or?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I will need to look at the tape on that, Sal. But look, at the end of the day, it's your job to drive the guy off the ball, right? And so we've got to look at that and make sure we've got things that we improve in that area moving forward.
It looked like there was obviously a clear-cut plan to get Devin involved early today, and it worked. I mean, he got a nice game. Right. Just talk about the plan of doing that finally after. It's been a while since you've been able to do that.
Yeah, it's good to have him back healthy. Again, give credit to the offensive line as well. It's never just one guy, and Devin made some real good runs in there, reading his blocks, and thought the game plan was a good game plan put together by our coaching staff, Brian Dable and his staff. But yeah, it's never just one guy, but it was good to get Devin going for sure.
Obviously, the big focal point this week, Coach. Your thoughts on that unit's performance?
Yeah, first half, Adrian hit some runs. We weren't gap strong in those runs. We didn't fit one of them right. Second half, I think he had 100, or they had 100, just over 100 at half, and I think they ended up with 126, 127. So second half was more of what we expect.
Was that a matter of adjustment or challenging the defense?
Just probably a little bit of both. Leslie Frazier and his staff thought did a good job. Just some adjustments at halftime, guys understanding a little bit more, and that's that's what a game's all about, making those adjustments, and that's key. That was key today.
Sean, there's the saying or whatever that real football begins in November, this time of year. How the importance of these games, especially, how ready do you feel after a 6-2 start that your team is for this second half challenge now as things intensify?
Yeah. Look, we take them one at a time, and I think that's the right approach. And we continue to try and improve in every area that we can, build on our strengths, improve on our weaknesses, and where we're challenged. And so that's what we do every week, and we take them one at a time, and that's what we're going to do. We'll move on to the Browns.
Hey, were you surprised that Andre took that ball out? It was about 3 yards deep. Usually he just takes a knee with that. Was that a called? You wanted him to take it regardless, or was that just a call?
Yeah, I told him to come out and get about 40 or 50 if he could. No, he's. I understand what you're asking, Sal. Just trying to have a little fun here. Jeez. Yeah, look, it's and again, it's never one guy either. With the special teams, with the blocking that he had and the return that he put together, you know, it was important that we got him going today, and I think the guys took that to heart, took ownership of it, and have a lot of pride in what they do on our special teams units.
You were able to finish off a few of your quarterback pressures with some sacks today. I know that you've said before that that's not all that rushing the passer is about, getting those sacks, but how rewarding is it for those guys, do you think, to finally come away with a few of those sacks?
Yeah, it's good to finish. Good to finish on the quarterback. You know, affecting the quarterback's one thing, finishing is another, and we knew coming into the game that Haskins had some mobility. Didn't have a lot of film of him, but I think our guys adjusted through the week quickly once we knew or had a pretty good feel who the starter was going to be.
How excited were you for Devin with that long catch and run in the first quarter?
Yeah, it's great. It's great to see all of our young guys, and we have a lot of young guys out there playing, and that really starts with the veteran leadership of these older guys showing these young guys the way, how to do things, you know, the habits we have around the building, and the right habits that lead to winning in this league. What they did in college isn't always the same as what we need them to do here.
You had to be excited for him.
Yeah, no, I was. Yeah, anytime we get that type of game, I'm excited.
John, is there any explanation through 8 games why the third quarter for your offense has just been such a struggle? And it was again today. I think you had 50 yards in the third quarter, no point. Every game it seems to be a problem.
Well, we came out and I thought we had a good drive after half. Ended in, I believe, on the 4th and 1 situation there. So you know, we moved the ball. Now we got to come away. We got to finish the drive and finish in those short yardage situations and 1-to-go situations.
What was the reason for Jordan Phillips to get the start over at Oliver today?
Yeah, he earned it. He earned it, and he's playing well. And so that's how we do things. Things are earned, and he's earned it.
Emotion.
What have you evolved to at the midway point as a football team, kind of in the big picture? That sort of thing, I mean.
You want the whole rundown? We have a State of the Union here, strengths and weaknesses, and just give it all out there, right? I'm messing with it. No, listen, we're a work in progress. That's how I see us. And every week is, hey, what can we do to improve? What are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? Let's make sure we build on our strengths and improve on our weaknesses. And looking at the roster, you know, you look at that, you look at calls, are we putting players in position? Are we taking care of the football? And it's an everyday checklist for me and for Brandon, honestly. So, look, we're 6-2 with a lot of games to play, and we've got to continue to improve and embrace that mindset. Remain humble and hungry. That's really what Buffalo's about, in my opinion, since moving here. 2+ years, man. This place is a humble city, humble town that's hungry, and we need to embrace that.
Coach, were you encouraged by the adjustments you were able to successfully make with respect to the run defense come second half there? Because you tightened it down there, it seemed.
Yeah, I was asked about that earlier. Yeah, Chris, no, it's okay. I thought Leslie and his staff made some good adjustments. The players really took ownership, and we had some get out in the first half, but good to make good, solid adjustments through the game.
You've been at home for quite a while now. You're headed on the road next week. What changes for you guys?
Well, it's a tough place to play, Cleveland, and we've got a lot of respect for them. So we've got to get ourselves ready to go. Certainly a ton of areas to improve on this week. All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Coach McDermott being asked there about his team midway through the season, 6-2, and he says we are a work in progress. So when he says that, what are some things that stick out to you that you think have gone well this season, and then maybe some things that this team needs to work on as they head into the second half of this season?
Yeah, I think the number one thing from an offensive standpoint is just watching Josh in the way he is with the ball. The number one thing you want to see him improve is the turnovers and making those decisions when he has the ball in his hands. And I think as long as he continues to be that work in progress and understands that, I think they're going to continue to get better on offense. Defensively, those guys continue to make plays. I think the last 2 weeks they've kind of struggled in the run game, for whatever reason. But I think that's something that they want to work on, and they got plenty of things that they can go look at on film and self-evaluate themselves and continue to, like he said, progress towards that ultimate goal in being in the playoffs and chasing the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think it was huge that this team was able to correct that run defense in the second half there. That's obvious. Making halftime adjustments is not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, and especially when you're playing against a guy like Adrian Peterson. We talk about how old he is, but he's still a phenomenal running back, and he's going to make plays like that, and that's what he was able to do today.
Well, let's hear from the quarterback, Josh Allen, on his thoughts after today's win against the Redskins.
How's it going, everybody?
Josh, how good do you feel about where this whole team is at the exact midway point there at 6-2?
I feel good being 6-2. Obviously, there's still a lot of things that we need to learn from and grow from, and I think today we did a good job of, establishing the run game and going out there. Our O-line did a great job doing that early. There's still times where, I myself got to make sure I'm still pushing our guys, make sure that we're still striving to be the best that we can be. And after at the end of the day, we're 6-2, and it feels good. But I think everybody's got the same mindset right now that we're still hungry. We still want to grow. We still want to learn and continue to try to become the best team we can.
With Devin's early running success, Josh, how much did that kind of help you guys as an offense in total? Just kind of stay on schedule, head of the sticks, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he did a great job today, but to the guys up front, the 5 plus the tight end, whoever's in there, and like I said, they did a great job of establishing it early, and we got to continue to finish these runs. And Devin did a good job today, and I feel like he's only going to grow and only going to get better. I think this is his 4th or 5th game in action, and he's doing some really good things for us, and we're going to continue to use him.
It looked like they just made an adjustment, started throwing some run blitzes at you guys a little bit. How did you guys kind of counter that and adjust back, because you were able to close out the game and kind of reestablish the run there late?
Yeah, Bobby and Dable, they were doing a good job of talking and just kind of talking about which runs that they wanted, and it was no secret we wanted to run the ball and finish the game that way. And a couple pass plays that Smoke got open on, and that helped us finish the game. And we got down and put it in the end zone with motor, and that's ones you got to have, and that's ones you love to see.
As good as that was, Josh, what about the short yardage? What was going on there? They just seem to be getting penetration at times.
Yeah, it's something that we're going to clean up. I've got no doubts that we will clean it up. We just got to be better in that aspect. I think you talked to the 5 guys there, and they know that, and we're going to go in and have a good week of practice and fix that one.
Josh, what mindset do you take into a game? Like you said, you knew it was going to be a pretty run-oriented game. At least the plan was, and it carried out that way. For you to know that you're not going to, it's not leaning on your throwing so much. So how do you adjust? How do you get yourself? It looked like you handled that obviously very well. How do you?
Yeah, we're moving the ball, scoring points, and ultimately winning the football game. That's all I care about.
Yours and John Brown's chemistry continues to build every week. What has led to that kind of rapid chemistry that you guys have been able to build over these few weeks?
He's just a guy that goes to work. If you ask anybody on the team, he's not a guy that talks much. He just wants to play football, and he doesn't care about scoring, doesn't care about stats. Just does his job and gets open. And I've got a lot of faith in him, and I think he's got a lot of faith in me. And especially on these 3rd down plays where I can throw it up to him and trust that he's going to go make some plays for us, and that's huge. And that's what he consistently does.
That faith, even though John didn't make the catch, you were scrambling, you threw it in the second half. It was off his fingertips. Is that an example of that faith you have in him?
Yeah, that's one where I could put the ball in a better spot. If you talk to him, he said he's going to make the play, but ultimately, he's one of the teammates that everybody loves, and we got a team that just loves each other and cares about each other, and we're gonna, like I said, turn our focus to Cleveland next week and have a good week of practice.
What's your own level of confidence that game to game things change? You may not be able to go have that kind of running success in another game, and it's up to you to deliver. You've done it late in games, but your level of confidence of doing that from start to finish at this halfway point.
Yeah, it's going to continue to grow. I got full faith in Coach Dable and what he's trying to do, and how he's leading this team. And we got to go out there and execute when he calls certain plays. And he's a guy that is in the quarterback room constantly. Great relationship with him, and frankly, I love the man and what he does and how he is and who he is for this team. So, when it comes down to making those plays, I got full faith in the guys that we got out there, and ultimately it comes down to us executing.
You were able to connect with Dawson Knox today. When you're able to involve the tight end, how much does that do for this offense?
I mean, it does a lot. It just makes the defense focus on a bunch of different things, and the tight ends are sometimes the best athletes on the field. They got to run, they got to block, they got to pass, or they got to catch, and Dawson does a really good job with that, and I think all three of those guys do. So, like I said, it was very run heavy today, and they were asked to do a lot of blocking, and they showed up, and they get a lot of praise too.
You didn't throw the ball into the stands this time after your touchdown like you did last
Threw it to the
week.
ground, yeah. Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Josh Allen, 14 of 20, 160 yards, a touchdown out of him. We've seen him grow a lot this year, and you've said multiple times, this guy's in his second year. There's still going to be a lot more growth even after this season, but we've seen how this guy's able to recognize defenses. He's better in it when he goes to his checkdowns this season. So if you could pinpoint one thing through 8 games that you think he's really progressed on, what would it be?
The number one thing I like from him is when he's escaping the pocket or he's under pressure and he gets out of a would-be sack, and he still has his eyes downfield, and he's still able to complete the ball downfield. I think as long as he continues to do that, it's going to give this team a lot of opportunities, especially with the playmakers that he has, at tight end, at receiver, running back, and he can get the ball in their hands. It's going to allow them to put up a lot of points and make them a very dangerous team this year.
Yeah, this offense can be completely interchangeable. Last week we saw them throw a lot more than they ran, and this week it was a lot more in the run game. What did you see from how Dayball's play calling this week to last week?
First of all, you got to tip your hat to the offensive line. They did a tremendous job today. One of the things they wanted to do, they wanted to get the ball outside for Singletary, though, and just let him take advantage of his skill set and his speed and his ability to make guys miss. And great job by those guys doing that, and it paid off for him. Paid dividends. He made some plays for him, and he was able to get in the end zone for him, or wasn't able to get in the end zone, but he was able to make some plays for him.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch him grow and see what he can do in the run game, the way that he can break tackles, the way that he can make guys miss. I mean, we're going to see a lot more of this going forward in the season, but let's check out some of the highlights from today's game. A fall day in Orchard Park. It was a little chilly. Bills' first possession, Josh Allen finds Cole Beasley for the 6-yard touchdown, 7-0. Bills are up first at this one. Teams trade field goals, then Josh Allen plows it in on 4th and goal to put the Bills up 17-3 at this point. 17-9 the fourth quarter. Trey White sacks Dwayne Haskins inside the 5. And then it's Devin Singletary here with a 2-yard touchdown, and the Bills would go on to win it 24-9. There you see in the box score, 14 of 20 for Allen. Singletary, 95 yards on the ground. John Brown, 76 receiving yards, and Tremaine Edmonds led with 9 tackles. Let's hear what Coach McDermott had to say to his team inside the locker room.
Hey, congrats, man. It's a great win right there, right? At home, defending your turf right here. Great win. I tell you what, this win started, though, last Monday. That's where it started, man. But where you guys hung together, you talked it out, you practiced like a team that knows what they're going, where they're going, right? If I can finish my words, I'll be good. Extremely proud of you guys, man. Extremely proud. Keep going now. Humble and hungry. That's where we're at. Here we go. Hey, when I'm talking about a team, that means everyone in this room. Guys that didn't dress, guys that were hurt, practice squad guys, the whole staff, right? Great job, man. So break us down. Here we go.
Hey, fellas. Oh, good job today. Way to battle. Way to stay together. Stay hungry. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey.
Coach McDermott's got to be super proud of Devin Singletary. And if we're talking about running backs, I'm glad Fred Jackson is right next to me because he knows a lot about running backs. So just a few things. What has surprised you the most about Devin Singletary watching a rookie do what he's done? And we've seen him miss a couple games, but now that he's back and healthy, I think we're seeing what he did in the first few games again.
And I think, the number one thing is you see him learning from Frank Gore. That's the number one thing, is taking the tutelage that he's getting from Frank and, applying it to the field is one thing. So I think he's just a guy that's going to continue to grow. And when you have a guy like Frank teaching you, it just makes your job so much easier. And Devin has so much God-given ability. You know, just to be able to take what he's being taught from a guy like Frank and putting it on the field, he's going to be a threat to anybody that's going to play against him. So it's fun to see what he's doing. I hope he continues to progress in the right direction, and it looks like he is. So he's going to be great for these guys for a long time.
The rookie was in the locker room after his 140 total yard day. Let's hear what he had to say.
Your best game as a pro. You did both in the passing game, receiving, I should say, and running. Just how you felt coming into the game. Did you know you'd be as big of a part of a game plan, and how do you feel coming out?
It was kind of the same approach. You know, just stay ready, be ready. You know, whenever your number called, be ready to make a play.
Did you know coming in you were going to be this big a part of the game plan?
Nah, it was the same approach. You know what I'm saying? Like I just told him, just had to stay ready, stay locked in. Whenever my number called, just be ready to make a play.
Devin, what was different? What worked out better for you?
Everybody, we was all on the same page. We were all hungry, and our will to win was greater than theirs today.
Well, for you personally, though, what was different, with the way you were able to run the ball, find all the productive?
It was the same. It was the same. Like I said, I approached it the same. I felt the same coming in. You know what I'm saying? Just had more opportunities.
How did it feel to be able to kind of keep the offense on schedule? Because those early runs you were getting on first and second down were keeping you guys in third and medium, third and short.
Right.
How much did that kind of feel it helped?
Not, you know what I'm saying? We were rolling today. Big guys were getting pushed. So I just had to pick my way through. So everybody was, you know what I'm saying, even the tight ends and the receivers were getting in on blocks, so everybody was rolling.
Then it looked like they made some adjustments. They threw some run blitzes at you guys.
Mm-hmm.
What changed at the end that allowed you to close it out and kind of recapture your run game success?
Just like they made adjustments, we made adjustments.
You making plays in a game, and I don't know if you're thinking about it at the time, with Adrian Peterson and Frank Gore on the field at the same time?
No, I'm definitely thinking about that. You know, like somebody asked me earlier this week, but those two GOATs, you know what I'm saying? So I'm watching. You know, I'm watching him go to work. So I was just enjoying myself. I was having fun today, and I was able to talk to him after the game, so that was pretty cool.
What kind of things they say to you?
No, he was just saying, just keep working. You know what I'm saying? He see I got talent, just keep God first and keep working. He was like, I got it, so just keep working.
Can you remember the swing pass, the screen pass, we want to call it, and can you kind of walk us through that, what you saw? And obviously when you got the ball, there was maybe one guy there and you were able to have contact and still go.
So basically it was set up perfectly. It was called at the right time. So basically when I got the ball, I think I had to make one person miss, but I had a wall in front of me, so all I had to do was run.
Devin, were you getting anxious to have a game like this?
Anxious for anything, just stay patient.
How good did it feel to be more heavily involved, more similar to what you were in your college days and probably high school days, to be more featured than complimentary?
Like I told him, it was fun today. Have fun out there. Always have fun. But like I said, I had more opportunities today, and I was just trying to make the best of them.
You can't control how many opportunities you get.
Right.
It has to help when you get into a groove and you're getting the touches and you're getting the carries, right?
Yeah. You know, definitely when you get in a groove, you know, it's kind of, you know what I'm saying, it's a zone. I feel like if you're a football player, you have it. So it's definitely cool and good to get in a groove because you can go to work.
Devin Singletary totally knowing that Adrian Peterson and Frank Gore playing together is something super special. That was the first time in NFL history two running backs with more than 13,500 yards rushing were playing together. It's pretty crazy.
You take notice. As a running back, you take notice of things like that. I was excited to see it today, you know, and sharing the field with those guys at some point, you know, throughout my career, it was fun to see those two competing today. And Devin knows those are guys to learn from. You know, watch what they're doing on the film. It's going to make you, you know, better if you can pick up a few things from them.
So they've got the Cleveland Browns next week. They're on the road for 2 straight games. So what have they got to go back to the drawing board and look at for next game?
Defense, you know, figure out what it is you can do to be better in the run game, and offense, you know, continue to protect the ball and you'll be okay.
Yeah, and hopefully help out with some of those short yardage situations that we saw today.
Yeah, definitely something you want to work on. And they'll get it figured out, you know, because that's just what the coaches do. They'll go check out film and see what it is they can improve on.
We got some good coordinators inside this building.
Yeah, just a few.
Well, for more highlights, more post-game sound, more analysis, make sure you join us at 11:30 on MSG for Bills Tonight.